Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Code, DTC P0133, relates to a malfunction or slow response of the air-fuel AF sensor 1 in Honda Civic models from 2006 to 2011. The AF sensor plays a crucial role in determining the optimal air-fuel mixture required for efficient engine performance. It is typically located at the exhaust manifold before the catalytic converter and is vital for maintaining emissions compliance and ensuring smooth engine operation. A slow response could indicate that the sensor is failing or that there are issues in the engine management system. Addressing this issue promptly is essential for avoiding further engine problems and ensuring the vehicle runs efficiently. This presentation will guide you through understanding the error, possible causes, symptoms, and the necessary troubleshooting steps. The AF sensor 1 is key to measuring the oxygen levels in the exhaust and helps regulate the air-fuel mixture for optimal combustion. When the DTC P0133 is triggered, it indicates that the sensor's output has not reached the appropriate threshold for a predetermined amount of time, signaling a malfunction or delayed response. As the first sensor in the exhaust system, positioned before the catalytic converter, it directly influences the engine's performance and emissions. If this sensor fails, it may lead to poor fuel economy, higher emissions, and potential engine misfires. To properly address this issue, understanding the location and function of the AF sensor is critical, as it is the first point of feedback for the engine control module, ECM. Monitoring the sensor's performance is essential in diagnosing emission-related concerns. Several potential causes for the DTC P0133 have been identified. A faulty AF sensor is the most common reason. It may have degraded over time due to exposure to heat or contaminants. Additionally, wiring issues such as frayed wires or poor connections can cause unreliable signals to the ECM, leading to slow response errors. Another possible cause could be a malfunction of the ECM itself. While rare, ECM issues can disrupt communication between the AF sensor and other engine components. Regular inspections of the wiring harness and connections at both the AF sensor and ECM can identify early signs of wear or damage, preventing more extensive repairs later. It's crucial to check each of these potential causes systematically to ensure a thorough diagnosis. The symptoms associated with DTC P0133 can significantly impact vehicle performance and efficiency. Drivers may notice reduced fuel efficiency, as the engine management system may compensate for the faulty sensor output by altering the fuel mixture. This can lead to increased fuel consumption and higher emissions, potentially failing emissions tests. Additionally, a rough idle may occur as the engine struggles to maintain optimal air-fuel ratios. If the AF sensor does not provide timely and accurate readings, the engine may exhibit issues like misfires or poor acceleration. Recognizing these symptoms early can help drivers seek timely repairs, leading to better engine performance and reduced environmental impact. Addressing the underlying issues quickly mitigates the risk of extensive damage to the engine system. The first troubleshooting step is to turn the ignition switch to the on position, which is also referred to as position 2. At this point, it is important to record any freeze data that may be present. Freeze data captures the vehicle's operational state at the moment the DTC was triggered, which can help diagnose the issue more effectively. In addition, reviewing the general troubleshooting information related to this DTC will provide insight into common failure modes and steps to take next. Gathering all pertinent data before proceeding with diagnostics saves time and can streamline the troubleshooting process for the AF sensor. A careful assessment at this stage sets the groundwork for further steps in the troubleshooting process. After recording freeze data, the next step is to clear the DTC using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. The HDS is a specialized tool that provides comprehensive diagnostics and allows you to reset the engine management system, clearing any stored trouble codes. By removing the DTC from memory, you are essentially resetting the system and preparing for a fresh assessment. Following this, it's crucial to start the engine and hold it at 3,000 RPM without load until the radiator fan activates, which signifies that the engine is at the appropriate operating temperature. This step is critical in determining whether the sensor will respond correctly under various conditions. Proper execution of this step is necessary for effective troubleshooting and verifying the system's performance. A next step involves performing a test drive under specific conditions. It's essential that the engine coolant temperature, or ECT, sensor reads above 158 degrees Fahrenheit. During this time, this indicates that the engine is operating within the optimal temperature range for performance testing. While driving, the transmission should be placed in either third or fourth gear, and the vehicle should maintain a speed less than 25 miles per hour, 40 kilometers per hour, for 5 minutes before accelerating to a steady range between 26 to 81 miles per hour, 41 to 130 kilometers per hour. This controlled testing helps in examining how the AF sensor behaves during different driving scenarios. Monitoring these specific parameters ensures that the failure can't be attributed to varying conditions during the test drive. Failure to adhere to these guidelines can lead to incorrect diagnoses and futility in troubleshooting. Following the test drive, it is crucial to check the onboard diagnostic (OBD) status using the HDS to determine if DTC P0133 is still indicated. The HDS displays several statuses, such as passed, failed, executing, or out of condition, each providing important diagnostic information. If the screen indicates failed, it suggests an ongoing issue with the AF sensor. If it indicates passed or intermittent failure, the system is operating normally at that moment. However, it is still important to check for poor connections or loose terminals at both the AF sensor and the ECM, which might be contributing to intermittent issues. Engaging this step thoroughly helps in pinpointing whether the problem has been resolved or if further action is necessary. If the previous step indicated a failed status for DTC P0133, the next action is to turn the ignition switch to the lock position, which is also called position 0. This step is essential for ensuring safety, as it completely powers down the vehicle and prevents accidental starts during repairs. Once the ignition is off, prepare for the replacement of the AF sensor, Sensor 1. It is crucial to ensure that all tools and safety equipment are on hand before starting the replacement process. When working on the AF sensor, be aware that it is located in a high-temperature environment, which requires careful handling. This preparation phase sets the stage for proceeding with the replacement operation effectively. The sixth step involves replacing the AF sensor, Sensor 1. This replacement requires detached connections and secure removal of the old sensor from its mounting location on the exhaust manifold. Carefully install the new AF sensor, ensuring that it is tightened to the manufacturer's specifications to prevent exhaust leaks. During this step, it's essential to pay close attention to the wiring harness connecting the sensor to the ECM to check for any signs of wear or damage while the sensor is removed. Any frayed wiring or poor connections should be corrected. Following the sensor installation, inspect all connections and verify that they are secure before proceeding to the next step in the troubleshooting process. After replacing the AF sensor, turn the ignition switch to the on position to activate the system. The next step is resetting the engine control module, ECM, using the HDS. Resetting the ECM clears any residual programming that may conflict with the new sensor's operation, allowing the engine management system to adapt to the new component. Following the reset, it is essential to perform the ECM idle learn procedure, which enables the ECM to recalibrate and learn the correct idle conditions of the engine. This process ensures that the new AF sensor operates within the expected performance parameters. This step is key to integrating the new sensor effectively into the system, ensuring optimized vehicle performance moving forward. Once the ECM is reset and the idle learn procedure is completed, start the engine again and hold the engine speed at 3,000 RPM without load until the radiator fan activates. This ensures that the engine reaches a specific RPM, which is important for evaluating the AF sensor's performance after replacement. Holding the RPMs high allows the system to check the response of the new AF sensor under controlled conditions. Once the radiator fan engages, the engine is allowed to return to idle. Following this, a test drive under specified conditions is necessary to validate the performance of the newly installed AF sensor. This step is critical to confirm that the P0133 fault code is resolved and that the sensor is functioning as intended. After the engine idling phase, conduct another test drive under the specified conditions mentioned earlier. It is important to keep the engine coolant temperature maintained above 158 degrees Fahrenheit, ensuring optimal operating conditions for the sensor to function correctly. The vehicle should be driven in third or fourth gear and maintained at the lower speed limit of 25 miles per hour, 40 kilometers per hour, for about 5 minutes, before gradually transitioning to speeds between 26 and 81 miles per hour, 41 to 130 kilometers per hour. This controlled driving reevaluates the A/F sensor's capabilities under realistic conditions. Continuous monitoring of the proximity of ECT sensor readings to the expected parameters helps confirm that the new sensor is operational. Failure to comply with these steps can lead to a misdiagnosis of the sensor's performance. After completing the test drive, the next step is to check for any pending or confirmed DTCs using the HDS. This recheck is vital for assessing the newly installed AF sensor's performance. If DTC P0133 is indicated again, it implies ongoing issues that need further investigation. In such cases, you must revisit the potential causes, including examining wiring connections and terminals at the AF sensor and the ECM once more. Persistent failures may suggest that there are other underlying problems that have yet to be identified. Conversely, if the DTC is absent, it may indicate that the remedial actions taken have resolved the issue and the system is functioning correctly. The final step in troubleshooting involves once again monitoring the OBD status using the HDS. Confirming whether the screen indicates a passed status is crucial for concluding the troubleshooting process. If the screen indicates passed, it signifies that all systems are functioning as intended and DTC P0133 is cleared successfully. At this point, you may also want to check for any other pending or confirmed DTCs and address those accordingly. However, if the screen indicates failed, review all connections and terminals at the A/F sensor and ECM once more before commencing the troubleshooting process again. These systematic checks ensure thorough diagnostics and promote reliable vehicle performance. After completing the troubleshooting and repair steps, it's vital to perform a final verification of all systems to ensure they are operating correctly. Confirming that the replacement A front sensor is functioning as intended is essential to avoid future issues. It is also necessary to check for any additional DTCs that might have emerged during the repair process. Using the HDS for a final system scan allows you to confirm that no new trouble codes are present and that DTC P0133 has been resolved completely. Addressing any additional DTCs found during this phase maximizes vehicle reliability and performance. Final verification helps ensure that the vehicle will operate smoothly and maintain optimal efficiency. To prevent issues like DTC P0133 from occurring in the future, regular maintenance routines should be established. Conducting periodic inspections of the AF sensor throughout your vehicle's routine service checks can catch issues before they escalate. Moreover, ensuring that the wiring harness and connections are in good condition is crucial for reliable sensor readings and is an essential part of preventative care. Monitoring overall engine performance can also help identify potential issues early on, including fluctuations in fuel efficiency and rough idling. By maintaining scheduled services and keeping an ear and eye on engine behavior, you can significantly lessen the chance of future diagnostic trouble codes relating to the AF sensor or other performance sensitivities. Preventative maintenance saves time, money, and headache down the road. In summary, understanding and addressing DTC P0133 is crucial for maintaining your Honda Civic's performance and reliability. The AF sensor plays a vital role in controlling the engine's air-fuel mixture, and any malfunction can lead to significant issues like poor fuel efficiency and increased emissions. Following the outlined troubleshooting steps systematically can help in identifying and resolving the problem effectively. Prioritizing timely troubleshooting when a fault code appears ensures the vehicle remains in optimal running condition, helping to safeguard against extended damage or inefficiencies. It also underscores the importance of preventive maintenance, which can mitigate the occurrence of such codes in the future. Overall, being proactive and staying informed significantly enhances vehicle longevity and performance. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.